WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon. Bill Bryant and Andrea Walker here for WKYT News. Emergency crews in Richmond are right now on the EKU campus where a truck has hit the pedway on Lancaster Avenue.
We're told there is structural damage to the pedway. The Eastern Progress is reporting no students were on the pedway at the time of the accident. No word yet on if the driver of the truck was hurt. Lancaster Avenue is closed from Barnes Mill Road to Crab Street. We do have a crew on the way to the scene, and we'll have the very latest on WKYT.com as well as on air.
We'll send a picture just a minute ago, and it appears that this vehicle, here it is, was just too high, too tall to get under the pedway. So that is the situation, and staff and the students at EKU have been alerted to this situation. Again, Lancaster Avenue, there the main road right in front of the EKU campus, at this time closed as police look into this, and of course they'll have to determine the structural viability of that pedway and to make repairs going forward.
And thankfully no one was in it when this happened, so that's the good news.
Well, a wild scene in southern Kentucky where a police chase ended with a crash.
It happened yesterday near Corbin. Police say a 16-year-old girl was behind the wheel and wouldn't pull over for a traffic stop. Just after police ended the chase, they say she hit a semi head-on. The girl and her passenger are now in critical condition. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Corbin with our top story at 12:30.
And I am told that there were two young people, a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old, that were both in that Mercedes at the time of this very violent collision that happened about 3:30 on Thursday afternoon. We don't really know what their conditions are at this time, but we are told they had very serious injuries. Now, this all began actually in Barberville, in front of Knox Central High School, when police say that an SUV blew past a state trooper on the shoulder going about 75 to 80 miles an hour. He followed it, other troopers joined in, and police say the SUV reached speeds of 100 miles an hour. Police say they stopped the chase in the Gray community for safety. They then learned that the Mercedes had crashed a few miles down the road. They say that it hit three vehicles, then slammed into a tractor trailer here in Corbin at the intersection of 3041, the Corbin bypass. The driver, a 16-year-old girl, was ejected. She and a passenger, 20-year-old John Deaver of Harrogate, Tennessee, were airlifted out with critical injuries. Now, state police tell me they are still investigating, but they say that the teenage girl, the 16-year-old, had been reported missing by her mother earlier in the day, and they believe that she and this 20-year-old man, possibly her boyfriend, simply were fleeing that home and coming this way from Harrogate, Tennessee, which is located just on the other side of the Cumberland Gap Tunnel. We're still trying to follow this and get some more information for you. We hope to have more later today, but for now, in Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
State police say the 16-year-old appeared to have serious head injuries. Police say Deaver was the girl's boyfriend, and the two had apparently left their home in Tennessee together.
A Laurel County couple faced a judge today. They're accused of killing their infant daughter. Both Gary and Jessica Nicely pleaded not guilty to murder and abuse during the arraignment in Laurel District Court this morning. Their 7-month-old daughter died last week from a head injury. The baby's twin sister was also taken to a hospital with injuries.
Gary loves my kids. He's crazy about my kids. And he's raised two other kids. It's not even his, and he's been a good dad. Everybody looks up to Gary in my family. You know, Gary's always the one we go to for comfort or whatever.
Jessica Nicely will be back in court Tuesday for a preliminary hearing. Gary Nicely's case has been waived on to a grand jury. The couple's bond is set at $300,000. The search for answers is continuing this afternoon in the shooting death of a pregnant woman in Lexington. Mariah Coleman and her baby died Wednesday night. She was gunned down while walking her dog on Winburn Drive. Coleman was 8 months pregnant. A makeshift memorial with balloons, signs, and flowers is now up at the site of the shooting. Police have very few leads, and they have asked the public to come forward with any information.
Scattered showers today and some storms tomorrow that could turn severe will lead to some big changes. WKYT meteorologist Mike Linden is in the First Alert Weather Center with an early look at your forecast.
Andrea, right now showers have begun to calm down a little bit. That doesn't mean we're done with them for today. As we get into the afternoon, some of the heating of the middle of the day could lead to thunderstorm development. But right now we are still seeing some slightly heavy rain pushing through the Lexington area right now inside the circle. Again, this is very scattered as we work our way through the early stages of the afternoon, but later today we could see again those pop-up thunderstorms develop. A cold front to our north is the reason for that, but look to the northwest, and this is the cold front that could cause some problems tomorrow. The potential for strong to potentially severe storms moving through the bluegrass. We're talking about the potential for some strong winds that could become damaging at times, not to mention heavy rainfall. So coming up, I'll take you hour by hour, show you this potential severe threat and the big changes that lies behind this, because Sunday looks to be fantastic. So a little bumpy as we go, but things will get better.
All right, we'll hold on for those improvements. Thank you. The president of Russia is figuring into the race for the next American president as the campaigns for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump answer questions about Vladimir Putin's influence. Putin and North Korea's nuclear ambitions were the topics of the day in the race for the White House. Weijia Jiang has the latest from Washington.
Vladimir Putin was the talk of the presidential race this morning after Donald Trump praised him as a strong leader. Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway talked about the statement on CBS this morning.
What does that mean, that Vladimir Putin has been a stronger leader than Barack Obama?
He said, what Mr. Trump said is that Vladimir Putin was a stronger leader in Russia based on a system that he does not agree with, if you look at the full quote.
Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Kaine weighed in.
What about invading other countries as leadership? I mean, you wouldn't get out of a 5th grade civics exam if you don't understand the difference between dictatorship and leadership.
This morning's topics also focused on the latest nuclear test in North Korea. Conway said Trump would be tough.
And North Korea and the rest of the world would know, Charlie, that President Trump and Vice President Pence aren't messing around with anybody who's trying to threaten our lives.
The last thing we should do is be cavalier about nations getting nuclear weapons. Hillary has been very involved in trying to control nuclear weapons as Secretary of State. Donald Trump has said, well, maybe more nations, Saudi Arabia, Japan, South Korea, maybe more nations should get nuclear weapons. That would be a disaster for the world.
Today, Clinton is in New York for a national security meeting on terrorism and then heads to a fundraiser with Barbara Streisand. Trump has an afternoon rally in Florida. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington.
WKYT has confirmed that U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch will visit Central Kentucky later this month. Lynch will speak to students at Madison Central High School in Richmond. Lynch is the first African-American woman to hold that office. Her visit will take place September 20th. Students from Madison Central, Madison Southern, and Model High School will be attending that event.
A new $13 million senior center in Lexington will open for business next week. A ribbon cutting took place this morning at the new facility in Idlehour Park behind Southland Christian Church on Richmond Road. The new center will replace the city's current facility, which is 33 years old.
Well, I mean, it's so much bigger and probably a lot better for serve a lot more people. You know, that's the big thing. You know.
The new center includes space for fitness, music, dancing, dining, and more. Activities at the center will start on September 15th.
Well, a new therapy technique could help stroke survivors.
We'll have the story in about 5 minutes in our Better Living reports.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Mike Linden.
So the weekend is almost here. We're dealing with active weather right now, but things have calmed down over the past few hours. Things will still be wet, and we may still run into some thunderstorms, especially in northern Kentucky as our afternoon rolls on. But on the Defender radar network, again, things have considerably dropped off. Still tracking rainfall moving through central Kentucky right now through the Jessamine County area close to Nicholasville and into Fayette County. We widened things out, and that's because of a cold front sitting over northern Kentucky that we might still run into some thunderstorms this afternoon. But now our attention is on the northwest. This cold front moving through the Minneapolis area, that look out ahead of it. Some pretty strong thunderstorms already developing near Iowa that will soon work their way into the bluegrass, especially so tomorrow, to the point where we are under a slight risk for severe weather. Damaging winds will be the main threat out of this. That's for any of the areas colored in by this yellowish green, which does include Fayette County and the surrounding counties. That will begin Saturday, especially so into the afternoon. Check this out. We'll take you hour by hour, first through today. Notice the time here. That's right around now. Not really seeing very much, and the potential, again, is still there for some pop-up thunderstorms, especially in northern Kentucky. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, look at these temperatures. Pretty darn warm, right? The mid to high 80s. As we see cooler air come in from the northwest, that's where the wind threat emerges. You can see this very well-defined front cutting through the bluegrass near 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow. But look at this. Out ahead of that front, temperatures in the mid to low 80s. Behind it in the mid to low 70s. That 10-degree drop-off tells us one thing most of the time: strong winds. Not to mention, again, look at those thunderstorms. This could develop into somewhat of a squall line as we work our way through our Saturday. Behind it, things look great. Sunday might be the best day of the bunch. The upper 70s, mostly sunny and calm. But through Saturday, not only will the winds be a major player, but we are looking at quite a bit of rainfall as well, potentially anywhere from 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rainfall. That is certainly going to be a major cause for concern moving forward. Again, a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow as temperatures reach the mid to high 80s. And look at that drop off. That cold front bringing in some seriously cool air to make things feel like fall on Sunday, falling back to the upper 70s. But that's the reason why we are under this severe weather risk. When you have warm, moist air like we have in place right now, the cold air, they don't get along. So that's what we're in for tomorrow.
Okay. Looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get through this. Thank you. A new therapy for stroke patients is showing promise, and a new study aims to have the final word on statins.
Don Champion has details in this Better Living report.
A comprehensive review of studies about cholesterol-lowering drugs finds the number of people who avoid heart attacks and strokes by taking statins is much larger than the number of patients who have side effects. The Lancet study says the benefits of statin therapy have been underestimated and the harms exaggerated because previous studies have distorted the data. A new compound may slow the progression of kidney disease in patients with diabetes. Researchers from Madrid say the compound seemed to get rid of the harmful effects of high blood sugar on kidney cells in mice. About 1/3 of diabetes patients develop kidney disease. And a new therapy for stroke survivors seems to improve hand function. In the new technique, patients control electrical stimulation to their weakened hand by a glove worn on their opposite hand. Researchers from Case Western say patients who received the new therapy scored twice as well on dexterity tests than patients who received the common treatment. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Don Champion, CBS News, Dallas.
Well, coming up, after 20 years, it still entertains audiences across the globe.
We'll have a preview of Rent coming to the Lexington Opera House. Stay with us.
And welcome back into WKYT as our new news hour continues. It forever changed the landscape of American theater. Rent returns to the stage for its 20th anniversary touring production, and it will be making a stop here in Lexington.
Lou Ann Franklin, Director of Performing Arts at Lexington Opera House, is here with a preview. So first of all, for anyone who hasn't seen it, even though it is such a popular show, tell us a little bit about the production.
Sure. Well, Rent is the story of a community of young artists who live in New York's East Village, struggling to find their way and make their lives. And it's based on the opera La Bohème by Puccini. So it's a modern day version of that. And it's truly a wonderful story. It jumped onto the Broadway scene 20 years ago. This is its 20th anniversary tour, and just took Broadway by storm, much in the same way Hamilton has recently.
Right. Well, what do you think draws people to it?
Well, I think, again, it's the story. It's the story of people and how important the way we touch each other is to the way we approach life. And it's about young people and how young people always change the world. And so it's very, very important to each of us. We all find our own meaning and our way. So I think it speaks to everyone.
Now, I've seen the show and I love it, but it does have some mature themes. So is this appropriate for children?
It is not recommended for children under the age of 13, and parental guidance is suggested. It does deal with very mature themes, and social issues. So we do recommend it for a mature audience.
Yes. And this is coming right up, by the way, starting on the 16th, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Next weekend, 5 performances, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's 1 on Friday evening, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. There are tickets still available at Lexington Center Ticket Office. 233-3535, you know that, Bill. We talk about it all the time.
Exactly.
It's the easiest number to remember. But there are still seats available, and we invite folks to come out. It's our anniversary season at Broadway Live.
You have a lot going on.
We're going to start with a big celebration.
And what are a couple of the other shows coming up shortly?
Sure. We've got a great show in October, Legends in Concert, straight from Vegas. It's all those tribute artists. We'll be back in, I'm sure, talking about that. We'll have Prince. We'll have Elton John. We'll have wonderful artists. That's Halloween weekend. And then we skip all the way to January. We have Pippin coming. And in February, Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. So Broadway Live and Variety Live, live and well at the Opera House.
There you go. Great anniversary year, huh?
Yes,
all right.
thank you.
Thanks for coming in. And again, folks, get their tickets to Rent right now.
Thank you.
Coming next, putting your best face forward.
You know all about that, don't you? We're talking about fall makeup transitions next on WKYT.
And we welcome you back to WKYT News. As the season changes, turns out so should your face. So we're going to talk about makeup right now with these ladies and how you have to switch from a summer look to a fall. Is that the way it works?
Apparently it is. We'll let you
All
know,
right.
buddy. All right, here to show us how to make the transition are Camilla Grossman, owner of the Birdcage Makeup Studio, along with model Kelsey Van Tyne and Julia May. Welcome, ladies.
All right, we're going to get right to work
Get
here.
right
So
into
what
it.
do we need to know?
Well, so what I've done is we've done sort of a transition fall makeup for both of them. So Kelsey is wearing more of a powder finish foundation with a blush and bronzer combination with also more of a, this looks like it's a really dark color, but actually it comes out very transparent.
It's pretty.
So it makes it very easy to move in when you still have a little bit of sun. And Julia, we've done also a fall type makeup with gold as well as an eggplant shade. And then on her, I did a foundation, but I did a cream blush on her so she can look a little lit from within, a little more dewy complexion. And she's wearing a cream base finish, but you see the texture is a little bit heavier.
Right.
So
And you can rock those kind of darker maroon colors in the fall. They look really nice.
Absolutely.
And, you know, what are, color-wise, what do people need to think about when you're switching from summer to fall?
Berries are always good. Nice golds, eggplants are always wonderful. However, sometimes if the color is too intense, go for something that's more sheer that gives you the wash of color, which will make it more comfortable so you don't feel like you're jumping right into the deep end wearing colors that feel too strong. And some textures don't work with certain clothing yet because we're not wearing wools and cashmeres and leathers yet. So it's easier sometimes to go with a sheer texture and more washes of color until you get into those heavier textures of clothing also.
All right, I'll try a question here. I guess. What are these, applicators? I guess you kind of use different kinds for different
Yes. So
It's
this
so
is,
precious.
different work.
So here we've got the bronzer side.
All right.
Well, contouring is very important. Ladies, we know that.
Right. And then the blush side.
Now, girls are like a kid in a candy store when we get new brushes. This is a big deal to us,
Okay.
Bill.
That's
I'm
the
reading
best fun
that.
ever.
Okay.
Well, tools are very important. At the Birdcage, I have 29 different styles of brushes for any kind of face, for whatever shape you might need, because no face is.
And
eye
then real
size
quick,
is the
where are you
same.
located?
301 East Vine Street.
Good deal. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you so
Making
much.
some
Thank you for having
changes,
us.
yeah, for the new season. Thank you. Well, as we transition seasons, the weather is getting just a little dramatic early in the weekend. Let's check in with Mike.
Bill, especially so as we head into Saturday. Today, just some leftover thunderstorms popping up into the afternoon, but tomorrow, the potential for strong to severe storms, especially so from the afternoon into the evening hours. Damaging winds and heavy rain will be the two major players out of that, but into Sunday, man, it looks a whole lot better. Bill and Andrea?
Okay, we're going to hold out for those improvements coming Sunday. That's WKYT News at noon on this Friday. Thank you so much for being with us. Next news at 4.
The Young and the Restless is next, followed by The Talk. Have a great weekend, everybody.